Did you know that due to sluggish iPad Pro sales, LG Display is now focusing on iPhone screens? Today's video is brought to you by Brain.fm, science-backed focus music that sounds great, by the way. You can check it out, linked up down below. There's more to this story than just, hey, the panel maker for the iPad Pro is gonna switch things up and focus more on the iPhone. What's behind that is some sort of like big shift in either what consumers are wanting to buy or pay for, or what they can afford, or just how exciting people feel iPads are in general right now. Because actually, it sounds like there's been pretty slow demand for the iPad Pro, which is weird. I've been doing this channel for so long, well, Daily Tech, this is the second channel now if you're watching a clip of this. Man, it's like, when the iPad Pro originally came out, there was so much demand and interest. And then Apple came on and like added a keyboard, and they added in Apple Pencil and stuff. And just people couldn't get enough. The iPad was so interesting to people and everyone wanted one. And it's just like, I can see it, you know, I'm always measuring stuff like this based on the stats in the back of the channel. So like people just aren't as interested in iPads these days, whether it's the Pro or, you know, like the base entry level or whatever. Like it doesn't really matter. Like the iPad as it is seems like the interest is really waning. And you're seeing that reflected in this report here. So Mac Rumors is reporting this. So the OLED screen is obviously really nice. That's what people love about the iPad Pro. Those inky blacks really makes everything around it pop when you can turn off those pixels and it's like truly black. So really like this is as premium as an iPad can be or feel at the moment in its current shape, like the form factor. And I mean, what else are you gonna do at this point? I heard some people talking about the other day, they're like, what does the iPad Pro really do that a cheaper iPad doesn't? I mean, things are nicer to a degree, right? If you're watching a movie or something on there, it's nicer. But is this the best way to watch a movie anymore? I mean, the Vision Pro, it's too expensive for your average everyday person. That's gonna change. In the future, if you can watch it and it feels like you're in a theater, like, is that the best? Is it the best for gaming? I mean, the iPad has a stronghold in that it's where you do like handwritten stuff, where you use the Apple Pencil and it's portable. You know, that's its thing. Like some people are like, Apple's just making a business move here and you're really like reading way too much into this. But I feel like other people, as I'm reading the room, you know, the sentiment, I've really done some research on this, seeing what people are talking about. And I think a lot of people are a little bit concerned about what this means for the iPad Pro. You know, things are so good. It's like your phone now. You don't have to upgrade every year, every time, or 2 years if they wait forever, or even more in the case of the iPad mini. You know, things are very iterative now rather than game changing, usually when it comes to iPhone, Apple Watch, you know, the core Apple products. And the iPad Pro is no different, really. So like, what really are you gonna do at this point to make it crazier and drive that demand? I just want to take a brief second and let you know about our sponsor today, Brain.fm. I love Brain.fm. I'm literally never without this app on my Mac, on my iPhone, wherever I go, because it just sounds so good. But it's not just about the sound. Brain.fm is science-based, science-backed, and it will help you actually concentrate better. So it actually works as fast as just 5 minutes. And I love the interface. And it just really has quite an effect. Check it out. As you can see, people really love it. And if you check the link down in the description, you get 30 days free. Most people though are reading this news as the iPad Pro just isn't selling well. So that means people don't really care about the thinness? You know, does that mean people don't really care about the display or, you know, the new chip inside? They don't even know what they can do with it. Apple's like marketing Apple Intelligence. What does that mean for people? They haven't seen the benefits yet. From LG's side of this, like the reason they're switching their focus and they're gonna be focusing more on the iPhone side of things is because obviously there's more demand there. So like from the LG perspective, they gotta go where they can make the bucks, right? So that kind of tells you a little bit of something, or does it? I mean, some people are like, no, this just tells you a little bit about market dynamics. LG, either Apple's making a smart business move or LG's making a smart business move. It doesn't really have a reflection or anything to do with the iPad Pro itself, because maybe Apple's gonna come out with something else to surprise you, and this is all part of that shift. What's weird though is this might open up some space to accelerate OLED screen adoption in other products, actually. That's kind of a weird way to look at this, isn't it? You know, the OLED equipment is the OLED equipment to some extent, and if you can put that pipeline to use elsewhere, that makes sense if you're LG, and maybe even if you're Apple. The crazy stat on this one though is that LG Display aims to supply 70 million iPhone OLED panels in 2024. That's up from 51.8 in 2023. So you can see where the demand is growing and you can get a feel for where the demand is slowing. What's your take on this though? I mean, what does it mean for Apple? What does it mean for the iPad? If you're an iPad Pro user, do you care at all? I mean, are you pretty happy with the iPad as it is? And a lot of people are out there just being like, they're harping on software. The iPad needs better software. It needs to be unleashed. It needs the pro software because the hardware side of things is all cinched up. There's not really anything else to do on the hardware side. So bring on the software revolution for the iPad Pro. So I don't know. Let me know where you fall on that and what you think this means.